Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to my 9 Lives Sobriety community, which is on school, and you'll find the details of that in the description below. And today I'm going to talk about why do we drink. I mean, to me, why did I drink? um, I drank because I was an alcoholic. In a way, I feel like that is why I drank. I believe I was born one. I feel that it's genetic. I feel that there's certain situations in life where, certain traumas that basically not enabled me, but pushed me towards that direction. And probably, I think a lot of people feel that way, but that's not necessarily true. I mean, it might not be genetic. It might not be because we were just born that way. Who knows what it is really? It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, the important thing is that we realize what it is and that we stop eventually before it does actually kill us or turn us into something else. So what it is doesn't really matter, or why we drink doesn't really matter. But I do believe in a way that I was definitely born that way. Um, from as long as I can remember, I've always felt kind of different, like I feel too much, like I sense too much, everything's too sensitive, I kind of think things where other people don't think those sort of things. Do you know what I mean? It's really strange. It's been like that for as long as I can remember. From when I was little, I always overthought everything, and I remember. I mean, I don't actually remember, but when I was 2, I was in hospital. I had some kind of disease. We're not really sure what it was, but I was in hospital in isolation for just over a week, and in those days, in the 70s, well, it was late 60s, early 70s, they didn't allow parents to stay in hospitals with the children overnight like they do now. And there was actually a famous psychiatrist, John Bowlby, who looked into this, and in the 70s it was kind of updated, and he was the one who brought in that parents should stay with young children, because those early years, he believed, those early years up to like 3 or 4, any kind of separation or any kind of trauma between the parents and the child, it could stay with you. And he kind of devised what they call the abandonment theory, and that is exactly what I feel that I've got. And I only learned this when I retrained to be a counsellor, in my counsellor training. But yeah, it just fits right in with what I feel. I've always felt like I was going to be abandoned. My whole life I was always scared as a child that my mum would leave me or my dad would leave me, and then when I was married, I thought my husband would leave me, and as it happened, my father did leave. He died at 55 when I was only 20, early 20s, and it was very sudden, and I was very traumatized by that. And that was probably another little kind of tip towards the alcohol. And then obviously my husband left me, after my second child, immediately after, literally when she was born. So that was very traumatizing, as we just bought a big house, and I had a son as well. We had a son, and I was pregnant with Lucia, and I literally went into hospital. I had to have a cesarean because she was across me, and I came out, and he just said he didn't want a wife and kids anymore. So that was really, really traumatic, and I was basically left to get on with bringing up the children by myself. We had 2 dogs as well, and in a big house, and I was driving the car, obviously, within the 6-week period of when you're not supposed to. I was driving the car straight after giving birth, actually, within the 4 days. As soon as I got home, I was driving, because I had to get shopping, I had to get nappies, I had to get baby, stuff, obviously. So yeah, but going back as a child, everything to me, oh God, I was just always frightened, always anxious, always frightened as a child. I couldn't speak. I mean, I could speak at home, and I could speak with friends, but I couldn't speak. If I was asked something in school, I could hardly get the words out, because I was so shy. I was so quiet. I was so well behaved. And I got through school with no trouble, obviously, apart from being extremely anxious, and well behaved, and got what I needed to get in the way of school qualifications and stuff. I was never any bother to my parents, until obviously, um, I don't know, I can remember a vague kind of when I was like 17, 18, having a few drinks, but I'd always drink. I'd have a drink, but I'd have a few drinks, and I'd want to feel kind of not out of it, but I'd want to get the feeling, if you know what I mean. And I would relax, and it would help me with my confidence. So, but I didn't like getting drunk. I never liked getting to the point of where I was actually drunk and out of control. So, I kind of enjoyed drinking and felt I wanted to drink. So yeah, I think 17 and 18 I did drink, but then I had a couple of traumas. Like when I was 16, I had a horse, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but I was not I was abused. I was groomed, and I had a really bad situation, and it left me feeling worthless and again abandoned. And I kind of thought I went on this kind of getting, trying to better myself, make myself look beautiful, and trying to lose weight when I was skinny as hell. So I wouldn't drink, I wouldn't, I tried to go on a diet, healthy diets. I'd buy this special makeup, I'd want to, do my hair, everything. I just became obsessed. So I think I developed a type of eating problem when I didn't really need to. So I kind of started not eating, trying to binge eat, not eat. And it only lasted, I would say, about a year. But there was definitely something wrong. And it's like it goes along with all those sorts of things like drinking, drugs, self-harm, not eating, all those sort of problems. And I think that was, when I look back, that was one kind of pointer towards what was to come, maybe. And then 18, yeah, I started working elsewhere because I've been working for my parents for a year or so. I started working elsewhere, and I'd have friends, and we'd go out and we'd have a few drinks after work. And I'd probably drink too much, but not get drunk, if you know what I mean. But I'd always drink too much. So that was the start. And then I moved out and got my own place. And somewhere in my head, I don't know why, but I refused to drink. I kind of thought there was something, I was maybe going to have a drink problem. I don't know why. And I don't know why I thought this. I remember because I made the house so beautiful. It was a little cottage. And I remember having this wine rack, and I bought all these expensive wines, red wines, and I had them all on show, and they were just there. And it was just so ridiculous, but I wouldn't touch them. And I remember I had a bottle, I think the first day I had a bottle of martini, and I drank that, and that was it. I said I wasn't going to drink in the house, and I didn't. But then I got involved with somebody older, and to be honest, he was an alcoholic. And an abusive person as well. And that got pretty nasty. That got had a few lucky escapes, I should say. I nearly got strangled. Yeah, a few lucky escapes. And I didn't really drink at all. And then I kind of met my husband. This is kind of jumping around a little bit, but I kind of met my husband, and he would like a drink after work or whatever. So we started. I'd buy a bottle of red wine for him, and maybe I'd have a bottle of I think it was like Martini Bianco. And I'd always, like, after I'd been working, I'd have a couple of glasses of that, and that was maybe the start. I don't know, but then drink wasn't really an issue. Just we got on with life, and yeah, we would drink after work maybe, and we'd go out occasionally, but not a lot. And as I said, we bought houses, we moved, we bought another house, and then my father died suddenly. And I can remember I wanted to drink quite a lot then, and maybe I did drink quite a lot, but not to the point where it affected work or affected my life in any way. And then we got married. I remember there was a period when I wanted to get really look amazing kind of thing for the wedding. So stopped all drinking, went on a really healthy diet, went to the gym, got fit, wanted everything to be perfect. I didn't drink at all until we went on holiday, and we got married in Mexico, and it was all inclusive. And our little shack where we kind of our room was a little shack. It was on the beach, and it was right by the bar, like the outside bar, the pool bar, as we say. And I've got a little bit of a cold, so. And I'd remember in the morning he'd want a coffee, and I'd go down and get myself a beer, a lager, just pour it, just like half a lager. But I never kind of, my mum and my brother was with us. I never got drunk. I never really got drunk at all. Just, we had margaritas and pina coladas because I loved that. And but it just was, you were just like, I don't know, not semi drunk, just, I don't know, just topped up all day, and you just felt normal. We went on jet skis. We went out on trips. We went up to Tulum. We went up Chichen Itza. We went on different things. And but I don't know. Came home. Life went on, and yeah, I would have a drink after work. Not every night probably, but you know, usually a few ciders, and at the weekend probably a few ciders. But nothing that interfered with anything. Nothing that was, I would say, was alcohol kind of abuse way, but it was always there in a way in the background. And then when you know, obviously we had the kids. I had Miles, and then I had Lucia, and he left me, and the abandonment was unbearable. And you know, I felt, I just don't know. I got on with it. That first year was, I've probably I probably explained in my other videos, that first year was just like a whirlwind, because there was so much anger, there was so much hurt, there was so much fighting going on, you know, because of, you know, the divorce and the fact that he'd gone off with somebody else, and he'd left me just like that. And the person he'd gone off with, I didn't trust, I'd known her years ago. I didn't want the babies near her. It was an awful time. And I can remember I probably did drink in the evenings, you know, after the kids had gone to bed, but it wasn't serious. And I think it just developed, and that was the reason I started drinking. It just developed, and I believe, like I've gone back, like I just said, I believe I was born that way. I was believe like my uncle who died at 59, a year after I got sober. He also drank, I think, a lot throughout his life. Maybe similar to what me, not maybe he drank a lot more, should I say, because he drank whiskey. I never touched kind of that sort of stuff, but he drank a lot. And he lived in Kuwait for a few years working over there. And I mean, if you look at that rug at the back of me is something that he bought my grandmother from Kuwait when he worked out there, and then she left it to me after she died. So that's from there, actually, if anybody's wondering what that's doing hanging up in my house. Yeah, it's random, but yeah. I do kind of like family things around me. Going off the topic now. As I've said, yeah, I'm going back to my uncle. Yeah, we used to drink together quite a lot once I was in high functioning alcoholic mode. So yeah, I would go around to my grand's and drink with my uncle. But yeah, as I said, he died at 59. His son, my cousin, died on a motorbike very tragically at 21. And I think after that, he started drinking. He just lost all interest in life. He's lost his job. He lost his car license, obviously through alcoholism. And basically after that, he basically just gave up. And yeah, he didn't want to stop. He didn't think he had a problem, but he was seriously ill at the end, and it was very sudden when he went. So um, you know, there is that in the family. And I've got a couple of people on the other side of the family that don't drink. And I think further back, there's maybe, I mean, my parents didn't have a problem, and my mother doesn't have a problem. She's just abnormal, because she will open she'll open a bottle of wine, and she will put it in the fridge after one glass. But she'd even admitted the other day that these little cans that you get of like oh god, what are they, like mini cocktails? She'll open one of those and have half of it and put it in the fridge. I mean, that's just not right. But then yeah, she's not right. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, so I do think I was probably born an alcoholic, developed into one, had it in the family genetics. But why I drank, I've listed some of the reasons there. Why we all drink, I don't know, because we do. And I think we are different in some ways. I think we are more sensitive. I think we do definitely feel more. And even now, like at the moment, my God, you know, I am struggling to get through this video, because I'm still struggling with my losing my dog. So I'm determined to do a video, and I'm determined not to cry. But yeah, I lost my dog, and I don't want to drink. But I'm still determined to keep to doing my videos, keep to my sobriety group, and yeah, losing my dog is definitely not a reason to drink. And I just know that it would be 10 times worse if I drank right now. It would be so bad that I just don't want to go there. So I'm struggling to eat. I'm drinking Monsters. I'm smoking tobacco, and yeah, eating cake. That's what I am doing, is eating cake at the moment. And I managed to go on the treadmill yesterday and do 2 miles, and I managed to do a mile. I think it was the day before. I've got a really bad knee at the moment, but I don't really care. That's the truth. Um, I don't care. I don't care about my arthritis. I don't care about any of that at the moment. I just care about getting on with life and getting through it at the moment and not drinking, and being a support to whoever I can. And just to get the message across that, you know, we may be born a certain way. We may have loads of challenges in our life, and we may have, um, we may have loads of traumas as well. And my God, yeah, I've got a lot of traumas. And, I will talk about them in more detail sometime. But I think it is important to acknowledge that. And it's important to acknowledge, when you do want to stop drinking, or if you have stopped, it's important to acknowledge why maybe you did drink. It's easy, yes, it's easy to say I drank because I was an alcoholic, and yes, I do believe that. And I drink now because I choose not to, because it's not, drinking is my default, and not drinking is my choice now. And that is my life. It is to have a better life, and to provide, to help my children, to help my family, to be a support to other people, to create in life, to develop in life, and to grow in life, and to feel things like I'm feeling at the moment with the dog. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out, really. I just wanted to make a video today, and to I didn't want to cry. Oh, God, it's pathetic. I'm determined to get through it. So yeah, why we drink? Because we're alcoholics. Because we do. Because we're sensitive. Or because we're different. And the day we choose to stop will be the best day for you. Honestly, the day you choose to stop will be the beginning of a new life, and it won't be without its pain. It won't, but it will be so much better than what it was before. And I promise you, it will. It will. It does get better. We still feel the same, and I still feel the same person. But I know that I don't have to drink today to cope with things, and that's what matters. So I'm trying to get through this without stopping it, because I just want to get this video done, and I want to get it uploaded. I want to carry on, as I said, creating and being honest and open, and sharing it raw, because it is painful. And I know there's loads of you out there who are worrying about Christmas coming up, and how to get through the family, either with family or with our family, how to get through the big day, how to get through Christmas with all the alcohol around. And it's really important that you look at why you don't want to drink, why you decide you want to be sober, why you want a different life. Because if you carry on, life just gets worse, and it seriously gets worse. And as I said with my uncle, it will kill you. It will. I have that as a reminder. And I'm just so grateful that I stopped, and I'm so lucky that I stopped, and I'm so lucky that I wanted to stop. And I'm grateful to have my children in my life, and still got my mother and my family, the rest, my cousins, and all the supportive people in my family. So but it's difficult. It's difficult, I know, for a lot of you out there that are struggling. So I hope this helps. I hope just sharing some of my background and why I think I drank, and some of my history, and how I feel now, and how I'm dealing with life. This is just me, and it's raw, and it's real. So yeah, we get on, we get up, we face life, we get on with it, and things will get better. So if you are struggling, then check out my community, Nine Lives Sobriety, which is free to join. I'm not trying to get any money out of anybody, although I am hoping that I will eventually be able to turn it into some sort of paid course, some sort of paid community, where eventually I can emigrate to the sun, which is all I really want to do. I don't care if I live in a tent on the beach at the moment, but I just want to be in the sun. And I was obviously hoping to take my dog with me, but obviously he won't be able to come. But hopefully he will send me another dog sometime. And yeah, I will have another dog to love. But yeah, so join the Nine Lives community, and I will see you in the next one. So thank you for watching, and take care.